A very unlikely occurrence. At least I thought so. Mike Glover is about to talk about affirmations. Now, this is something that Joe Rogan always downplays. He always compares it to The Secret, and he's not into that type of thing whatsoever. But Mike Glover actually breaks it down in less of a woo-woo way and more of a scientific way, talking about how you can program yourself to see the worst in yourself, or you can program yourself to see the best in yourself and to act on accordance with either of those things. I'm Coach Colin, coolest high performance coach in the world. And if you want the absolute best insights to the podcasts and videos you love, hit that subscribe button. Let's get into it. But first, I just want to go over what affirmations actually are. So, what are affirmations? This is mindtools.com. What are affirmations and do they work? Affirmations are positive statements that can help you challenge and overcome self-sabotaging and negative thoughts. When you repeat them often and believe them, you can start to make positive changes. You might consider affirmations to be unrealistic, wishful thinking, but try looking at positive affirmations this way. Many of us do repetitive exercises to improve our physical health, and affirmations are like exercises for our mind and outlook. Great way of putting it. These positive mental repetitions can reprogram our thinking patterns so that over time we begin to think and act differently. That's actually a great way of putting it. That's exactly what Mike Glover gets into right here. But he also gets into another concept that I want to make sure you understand before you hear this, which is confirmation bias. And it's right over here. Confirmation bias. So, confirmation bias is a cognitive bias that favors information that confirms your previously existing beliefs or biases. A quick little example here that I actually think is pretty good. First step in confirmation bias, or examples of it: not seeking out objective facts, interpreting information to support your existing belief, only remembering details that uphold your belief, ignoring information that challenges your belief. That is the basic of it. I don't have to get too much into this website, but I'll leave the links in the descriptions. So he's going to get into affirmations. This is actually really cool. And afterwards, I'm going to give you my incredible experience with affirmations. I'm telling you, you will not believe it. And I'll let you know exactly how it works on even a deeper level than Mike goes into. Let's get into it. Sorry for the person shoveling the snow.
The second thing, we could wrap that part up with just affirmation. Most people, we're our own worst enemies, right? We beat ourselves up routinely. I heard you say you don't have to, nobody needs to criticize you because you do it enough to yourself. I'm the same way. I don't need critics because I'm my own worst critic. That could be a detriment. But also, if you look at confirmation bias, the unique thing about confirmation bias is it's like this cell phone. If I pick up this cell phone and I could record in 4K, which is typical of most phones, that's kind of how our brain and our senses work. If I pick this phone up and I push record and record it in 4K, it would stop recording when I've met all the bandwidth. I filled up the memory. And it would crash. And then I would have to partition it. I'd have to shut it down, and it's fucking reset. So if we are thinking about that in psychological terms, in confirmation bias, we create the narrative. Then I go out into the world focused. I can't keep it running in 4K, so I can only partition my focus. I'm looking at you, you're looking at me, we're focused, and then we shut it down. We watch YouTube and stare into oblivion for fucking an hour. We get back to whatever and we're focused. You could only partition your focus. The problem with us is if we are looking for confirmation of the narrative in our heads, we'll go out into the world and we will look for evidence that we are who we say we are. So if you wake up and you're like, I'm a fat piece of shit, then you'll walk into the world looking for evidence of that and go, that dude looked at my stomach. I fucking knew it. He looked in disgust. I'm a fat piece of shit. Because that's how we collect the evidence. Mm-hmm. It's how faith is based. Because that becomes our faith and our new belief. If somebody who's religious doesn't look at an accident Hey, 6 kids died in a van rollover. That's tragic. I question my belief in God now, because God would never do that. They do the opposite. They go, you know what? Was there another vehicle that bypassed through there? Yeah, that could have been T-bone. That had 2 people's lives in it. They have a family. That's a miracle of God. And that reaffirms my faith and my belief. We do the same thing every day. So if you want to become more resilient and more focused as a person, you need to wake up and say, I'm the fucking best. I mean, I know Andy Stumps, Jack Carr, and all the Navy SEALs that I know, they live this because they think they're the best. Navy SEALs think they're the fucking best. That's how you become more resilient, because if you affirm every day, even if you're not, and you say you're good enough or you're the best, you're going to do well. It's like the Jocko shit, it's Goggin shit. It's that easy. You just say, I'm the fucking best. I'm a badass. I'm going to do it. And if you go out in the world looking for that belief, you'll find it and you'll get better.
So you think there's a negative aspect to being too self-critical, because you can sort of program yourself that you are a piece of shit?
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, here's what's
But there's also, you could bullshit yourself to think you're the best when you really suck.
a lot of people are like that.
Yeah. So what's the balance?
The balance. I can answer that, Mike. Don't even worry about it. The balance is putting in the work. So when it comes to affirmations, you're going to say a lot of things about who you are, but then you actually have to do the work every day to actually step into that affirmation, to become what you are saying. Like I have a list of affirmations right here actually on my wall, and then the same sheets in my garage, and the same sheets in my living room, my kitchen, and the same ones in my garage, in my gym. So I know all about affirmations. I have one that says, I am a great husband and father, right? It's an affirmation that I keep saying, and then I look for ways to confirm it, just like Mike was talking about, but I put in the work. So I want to see the ways that I can confirm this. So I do the things that would get me the label of being a great husband and father. Now, one of the things that I'm going to have to do is get my wife pregnant. That's just going to have to happen. Hasn't happened yet, but we're on our way. We're picking out names. I'm getting ready. I'm doing away with all my traumas that I've gone through. I'm trying to become the best person I can. I'm sober. I'm on track to be a great father. She already says that I'm a great husband. That affirmation is coming truer and truer every single day. And by next year, it will be a true statement. I will be a great husband and father. So really, you can reprogram the way you think about yourself, but also what's supposed to happen is these affirmations are almost supposed to be like call outs in terms of reprogramming you, because they call you out to do the work. I have an affirmation where I say I'm 190 pounds because I got to lose 46 more pounds. I say I'm 190 pounds. When I pass a pizza place, I think in my head, I have to do the work, right? I can't just stop for pizza and just eat as much pizza as I want. I look at the pizza place and I say, well, is that something somebody who's 190 pounds would do? And obviously, yes, when they want to, but not somebody who's on the road to becoming 190 pounds. So I don't stop. I keep going. You know what I mean? I had an affirmation that said I have 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And I'm getting pretty close to that. But what do I also do? I upload 3 to 4 videos every single day. And I make sure it's every single day. And I don't take any days off. So it's like you say the thing and then you do the work. That's the balance. So it's like I'm not just saying the things. I'm also doing the things that would make me the person that I'm saying that I am. Inversely, in the negative side, like Mike said, when it comes to the fat piece of shit premise, if you keep saying that you are a fat piece of shit, when you see certain foods, let's give the pizza store analogy. If I was telling myself that about myself, when I saw a pizza place, I would go, oh, I want it so bad. I have no control. And then click. Well, I'm a fat piece of shit. So let's go. And I would get in there. And you really have to think about it. It's like you may not believe in positive affirmations at all, but how often are you putting negative ones on yourself? That's the question. How often are you actually saying negative statements about yourself all the time? Our brains are very smart, very amazing, but also very dumb. If you keep saying stuff like that long enough, negative stuff about yourself long enough, like Mike said, you'll start looking for confirmation of it. You really will. Your brain has a reticulating activating system, and the reticulating activating system will actually help you see what it is you're focused on. So if you're focused on, again, I'll just go back to pizza because I'm so hungry right now. If you're focused on pizza, you're going to notice every single pizza store. But if you're full already and you can't eat another bite and you're driving down the street, you're not going to notice food places as much because it's not something that you're focused on. You no longer need that. So you can really do the same thing positively for yourself. And the example that I have, I opened up a book of affirmations that I had from like 2017. And when I tell you 2017, I was addicted to drugs and I wasn't doing much with my life. I mean, I was trying to improve, but I wasn't doing much. I wasn't putting in the work. And I didn't know about coaching and I didn't know about habit formation. When I tell you I had an affirmation in there that said, I am a high performance coach with a specialty in habit formation, it blew my mind to see that because I was like, I didn't even know what habit formation was back then. I mean, I had a bad habit, but I had a bunch of bad habits actually, but I had no idea what that was or that it could be a specialty. And I didn't know much about high performance coaching at all. And when I'm looking at it, I'm sitting there looking at this notebook in 2021 and I'm 2022 and I'm a high performance coach with a specialty in habit formation. It blew my mind. I was like, what in the fuck? I'm like, when did I write this? I'm like, why did I write this? I don't know, man. I wrote I'm a public speaker and now I am. I wrote that I had a business that focused on personal development and helping people. And that's what I do. I wrote that oh my God, I just remembered. I wrote that I made, oh my gosh, I have to check the number. Holy shit. I think I wrote that I made 2 pieces of content a day. How much would that be? That'd be 104 or 108. I wrote that number, pieces of motivational, inspirational content. And today I am on episode this is episode 140 of this podcast. And it's pretty motivational, inspirational, if I say so myself. Mind blowing. I just realized that. Affirmations work, but you have to work as well. You get to say it, and then you get to do the work. I promise you, you can do amazing things if you just start to say it, believe it, and work towards it. I'm out.